What's up, everybody? We're back for another drink with Jake. We got Vic here, so hopefully you guys liked the first episodes on both of our channels. So going with episode number 2 here today, and yeah, cheers, man.
Cheers.
Today we're gonna go over my YouTube series of 1,000 hobbies. I want to kind of give you guys like a background about it and what kind of hobbies I plan on doing, want to do, and like doing. So and then we'll see where we go. But it was funny because when I brought up this idea, you were like, "Oh, you're 2 hobbies."
Why are you at 2?
So it was pretty funny, which is true. It's funny when I post it too. I'm like, "Oh, like 1,000 hobbies," and I'm like, "Still fishing." But obviously this year got hooked on fishing, and it is just a blast.
Nice pun.
Yeah.
Slide that in there.
I do think I was like, what? Yeah. No, I don't know. I just got into it this year. We went to the houseboat, and my family, we rent a houseboat every year in like September, try to go out there and just spend a week and like 5 days and just enjoy it. And
looks super cool.
it is super fun. And if you guys haven't done that, I suggest it. We all need to do it. It would be super fun.
Mount Shasta, right?
Yeah, it's Shasta Lake, and
Shasta Lake.
but it's like right, it's near Mount Shasta, so you can kind of see it and stuff.
That's cool.
Super sick. But
how many hours away drive from
like
Reno?
5
5
hours, something like that.
I've only been by Shasta, I think, once.
Yeah.
But I've never stopped.
Yeah, it's super cool. I've never been to Mount Shasta, but we've been to the lake, obviously. But anyway, yeah, we got fishing gear. We went to go fish there last year. That's what kind of got me into it. Then my buddy here fly fishes, so he's like, "Oh, dude, you gotta come learn fly fishing with me," and just got, like I said, just hooked on it. And it's super fun. We're also lucky because Pyramid Lake, which is like a world-renowned fishing lake out here, huge fish out there. So that was pretty lucky to live like 30-40 minutes away from that and be able to learn there. But it's just so fun. I don't know why I'm like so interested. There's like so many different techniques, so many different ways you can fish, rivers, lakes, all this different stuff, and it's just kind of a new thing for me to try and learn and get to. But
I'm guessing what turned you on to it at that Shasta trip was when you caught that big stick. that was impressive.
That's pretty much what I catch most of the time.
Remember my friends were telling me like, "Yeah, I saw that stick that you caught." It was probably Colton.
Yeah.
Could have been David.
Probably
I don't know.
Colton.
But,
either one.
Yeah, probably Colton.
But yeah, no, I mean, it was kind of funny because we only caught, let's see, I caught like a small bass and 1 trout, and we were there for like 5 days. So
yeah, see, that's enough to turn me off.
Yeah,
to fishing.
I know. It was pretty.
I mean, at least you
frustrating.
caught something.
We caught something, so it was fun. But and we spent a lot of time like out on the boat and wakeboarding and stuff like that. But I definitely kind of expected to catch more. It was September, so it's not like the best time to fish. But then it was more of coming back here, learning fly fishing, and getting hooked at Pyramid and the river and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that is super fun. But I do plan on. I mean, I was talking to you again. I want to do some like mountain bike stuff. Try and hit up some cool trails out there, some more backpacking stuff this summer. We did some cool backpacking last year.
I would love to. I mean, I don't know how this summer's gonna go. One with coronavirus, and then second with LA. But like, I would love to do like a backpacking thing. The problem is I don't own any of that gear yet. Like, I would need to get a good backpack and figure out. But you and my mom would be the people to talk to.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you guys are all about it.
Yeah, it is so fun. I kind of got all my gear last year. We had this little map planned out, and it's cool. You can actually see it out our window, and we hiked around the back of Mount Rose, and we camped there for the first night.
See, I've never done any hikes on Rose. Yeah, and lived here since I was 8.
Yeah. We try to do it every year. Kayla and I didn't do it this year because technically I kind of did it already when we did that, and we were trying to plan out another time to do it, and the weather just never cooperated with our schedule, so we didn't do it this year. But I don't think we did. We might have after that. But the backpacking trips are super cool. It was kind of crazy. So once you pass over Mount Rose and you hike to the back, we were like 8 miles away from everybody else. We didn't see another person the entire time over there. So, we were kind of nervous, and like bobcats and bears and stuff like that. We didn't even see one wild, other than birds and like squirrels, we didn't see anything. Like no deer, no bears.
That's crazy.
Nothing. And it was like, I mean, it's pretty desolate, and it's like forest, and it's so...
Yeah, that whole area is weird because I feel like every time I see a news story of like a bear sighting in Lake Tahoe, I'm like, that's so weird because the forest isn't even that big there.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people constantly, because it's a huge tourist destination. So I'm always surprised when I see it, but even more so surprised that you didn't see one there, because I mean, but I guess with that much human activity, they're probably eating out of trash cans or people's houses or cars. And
that's what I was wondering, is if they were lower, more like towards like the neighborhoods and stuff or something, and they know to kind of do that. But yeah, I was super surprised because, like I said, we were at the top, and we were 8 miles away from anybody. We didn't see anybody the whole second day. So it was 2 days, about 15 miles each day, and we didn't see anything. So, which I was kind of bummed. We didn't really want to see a bear.
Yeah, not a bear.
But if you want to see some deer or something like that,
Yeah.
But yeah, it was crazy. We didn't see anything, but it was super cool because like I'm into like gadgets and stuff like that. So I finally got like a water filter, so we would fill up water.
I remember seeing that
like
in your YouTube video.
Yeah.
Go subscribe to his YouTube.
Yeah.
That is something that I want to get, like especially in a time like now where you're not certain if water will get shut off at some point.
Yeah.
Like I would love to be able to have a filter. How long do those things last?
So they make a bunch of them. I literally have like a hand pump one, so it's I can fill up my like 1 liter water bottle in like a minute. So it would probably take a few minutes or 5 or 6 minutes to probably, and you mostly just get tired because it's literally like this little device. You squeeze it and it sucks the water out and filters it and pushes it in the bottle. And so it takes a little bit, and it's kind of physical, but they do make these like hand pump ones where you do a pump like that. It like sucks it in from the river and it pushes filters through into your bottle. Those ones are faster. You can do a couple liters in like 2 minutes.
So how long, like when would you have to change the filter on those?
Oh, I think they're like 75 like gallons or something like that.
Does it depend on the type of water that you're filtering through? Like if you went to Pyramid versus like Truckee River?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm sure having like more clear water filtering, there's less bacteria going through it, so I'm sure it has some effect. But yeah, they say like you can filter through like 75 gallons or something like that.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, so it's a lot of water that you can do.
Those things expensive?
A little bit. It depends on, again, which one you got. I think mine was like $35-$40. That's
not bad.
And it's like a handheld little, it's about the size of my palm, and then it comes with a tube. And that's it. That's why
how cool is that? To just freaking drink the water right
from the river. It was really cool, dude, because
that's sick.
One, there's no, we pass over, like I said, the first like 4 miles is like the normal hike, and then you pass over and you go another like 4 to 6 miles, and you're out like by yourself, and there is no other water. And I had a 3 liter pack in my backpack and 2 1 liter bottles on each side. So I had a decent amount of water, but when you're hiking with like 40 to 50 pounds on your back, is in the summer, so it's like 80 something degrees out, it's pretty warm. You're constantly drinking and trying to take in calories because you're burning a lot, and you're at pretty high elevation. I think it's like between 8 and like 95. I think we probably got up to 10 somewhere, 10,000 in elevation, because the top of Mount Rose is like 10.7. But it was just cool. And now, like you said, I'm stoked to have, like, I know I have a water filter. Worst case scenario, I don't think things are really ever going to get like that. But if you just are stuck somewhere and you have no water, water is probably one of the most crucial things along with food, right? So it's kind of cool to just got to find like a water source. But I was like, I don't know why. I've always wanted one. So when we did the trip, all those little gadgets and stuff was pretty cool. And just
you're like, I've already got water here, but
I kind of want to use it here. But it was super cool because it was like we filled up, and I mean, it's cold. Like the water's cold, so you fill up your water and you drink it, and it's just like seems so fresh, and it's just something about that like outdoor,
living off the land.
Right. Which you got your backpack and all your gear, and you're not really doing that, but it is pretty cool to at least try to do.
That's pretty sweet. Yeah, I would love to do one of those.
Yeah, we'll have to plan one, do a video. I did, obviously packing that much stuff, you want to be as light as possible. Like your backpack, your tent, and your sleeping bag, everything needs to be
more energy expenditure.
And it's heavy. It's
how long can you go comfortably with all that on you?
Right, so we were just trying to find everything small like that. So I wasn't going to video, and then my brother-in-law who did it with us was like, oh, you're not going to like record anything or like vlog this whole trip? I'm like, Oh, I guess I will. So I used my phone the whole time.
Well,
so
that's good.
So we at least got to do that. It was
Yeah.
pretty sweet. It's up on the channel if you guys want to check it out. But
Yeah, I think that's the one I saw.
Yeah.
Because I saw you using the water filter.
Yep. Yeah, it was cool, man.
Yeah.
I mean, and all you really need is we just took our phone, probably not the best, quality, but
Dude, iPhones
on
on
a trip
are pretty good.
and a trip like that, when you already have almost 50 pounds on your back, I'm not going to lug around like a 2-pound camera.
Yeah, no, I know. That's the thing too, is like if I went, like obviously I'd want to have my camera, but if you guys at home don't know what a Canon 1DX Mark II is, you should look it up because that thing's a brick.
They're pretty big.
Yeah, that would be something I'd have to consider. Like, because I mean, I guess it depends like how long the trip is, because like I would want to both video and get cool photos, because I know there's, when you're that far away from lights and all that, just the stars, like that would be sick to photograph.
Yeah.
But how much I mean, just going to like Europe and having just my camera gear in my backpack after we've hit our hotel and now we're traveling about, like that stuff gets old.
No, you're good. It's fine.
I can bleep it out.
Yeah. No, it adds up pretty quick, but if you're doing like a 2-day thing, I could see it. And if you have a way to like mount it so you're not having to hold it or something, like mount it on your pack, I could see that. But yeah, it's just more unnecessary. So, and I think it'd be cool. I think I could do 3 days with the amount of stuff that we had. It's more of just food and making sure you have a water source and food, which that was another cool thing. The little jet boils, and you take like the Mountain House food, which I was stoked to finally get one of those because I watched the Free Solo movie.
Yeah.
And Alex Honnold's like on the side of El Cap, just like presses the button, lights it up, and cooks his food up in the tent hanging off the mountain. I'm like, that is so
insane. So is that movie a documentary, or is it a movie that got an actor for to redo what happened?
No, it's a documentary. So the guy who films it, he's a big climber himself and got into videography and photography, and he's like a film director. And
that's sick.
Jimmy Chin or something, I think his name is. And yeah, he does some really cool stuff. So him being a climber, he kind of knew like how to do it, and they filmed like the whole. Have you ever seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh my gosh.
I've heard great things, and it's funny because my stepdad was just telling me the other day like how they just watched it and I need to watch it. I've heard a million things about it. I want to.
It's one of my.
It's on Hulu, I think.
Yeah, I think it's on Disney Plus too, because they do National Geographic.
We got
or whatever.
that now.
But dude, it is wild. Like you were sweating when you were watching it because it was
that's
like,
what I've heard.
But you would like it because those guys they show their side of filming it, and they're like, it's really nerve-wracking. They're like working on him or with him, like, okay, what angles can we get that you're comfortable with, like this and that. And he's like, well, they're like, this would be a really cool shot. He's like, well, I'd rather not because I want to be able to see and be focused, and I don't want that. So they like have to work with that. And then they're like, well, yeah, it's nerve-wracking because if we are filming our friend and he makes a mistake and he falls, like we're sitting here filming while he dies.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. So they're all like nervous and freaking out and trying to get the shot, and they only have that, the one time he's going to do it is like the time they can shoot it, and
That's a lot of pressure.
It's a really, really awesome documentary.
I have always hated rock climbing. I'm so bad at it. It might be because of how long I am. Like I'm just horrible.
I think it actually helps.
Well, yeah, like to be able to reach like another rock, but like I feel like my weight distribution is so off.
Yeah.
And I just have always hated it. And then like the ones where you have a harness too, like I'll start climbing and I'll just say, like, screw my fear, I'm just gonna keep like going up, and then like I see how high I am.
Yeah.
Like, what did I do?
Yeah. It is scary. When I was training for Ninja Warrior, I went to the rock climbing place here, and they have a bouldering section, which is just like big rocks, and it probably goes up to 20-ish or so feet maybe, and it's got a mat under you, but there's nothing. It's that free solo type of thing. There's no attachment. So if you fall, you which it is kind of scary because I was doing some of those things and I'm like trying to like reach up and over and you slip, but if you're not quite expecting to slip and you slip, it's one thing if you kind of expect it, how to kind of land and roll, but if you don't expect it, then it gets like really scary. So it's pretty cool. I'm always intrigued by it, but at the same time, like, I mean, I used to have tough hands, I don't really anymore, but also my forearms. Dude, oh my gosh. I went one time and my forearms were sore for like a week because you're not used to like gripping for that long, and it's
and you
gnarly.
like all that weight that you are carrying is concentrated right in here. Like your fingers are dying, and then your forearms are just shot.
And that's what's cool about the movie is he kind of talks about, obviously it's a lot of upper body strength, but he uses like his feet to like pinch into like spots so he can like rest his arms like a little bit. But I'm still like, I think it took him like 3 or 4 hours to climb. Yeah. And normally it takes people like 3 or 4 days. Like even like when they're like attached. And I'm sure like the good climbers can do it fast, but it took him like 4 hours.
Wow.
But I'm still thinking like 4 hours of climbing.
Seriously, like, 4 hours of climbing, and then I'm even thinking from like the filmmaker's perspective, like to get all those shots, get set up, make sure you're in focus, like getting everything perfect.
Because they're like hanging off the side of the mountain. They're like rappelling down with cameras.
With that
like,
whole aspect?
Yeah.
No.
Dude,
no.
It's wild.
It's crazy.
I've seen the movie like 3 or 4 times just because it is so like awesome.
Dude, I wish my cousin was here. My cousin who we went and stayed with in Spain when we went this last summer, she and her husband, I believe her husband, they're like super big rock climbers, like the free solo kind, where they've got the mats. But in Spain, I guess they have some like really cool like bouldering areas. And so I always see the videos. It blows my mind. Sick, like they get up on something, there's like completely climbing, and someone's just moving the mat, and sometimes they fall, sometimes they don't. And I'm just like, that is insane.
Yeah. Even at this place,
so impressive.
Here, there's one that kind of backs. You climb up probably 4 or 5 feet, and then you climb like 5 feet this way. So you're like 8 to 10 feet off the ground. Yeah. And you have to climb up and over, and then you can like walk down the stairs on the other side. But it is kind of scary when you're up, that high, and you're like not quite, a lot of the time too on some of those, like if you can't get your feet, like I'm short, so a lot of the times I couldn't have my feet on something to reach to something else. So I would kind of have to hang and just like almost just like, pull up my body up there. But it's scary because if you're like reaching up and over to grab something and then you slip, you're kind of like gonna hit that and tip back. So it's just, and you're only 9 or 10 feet. This guy climbs, I don't know, what is it, 2,000 feet or something like that?
That's in Yosemite, right?
On El Cap. It's wild. But anyway, that would be like another cool like 1,000 hobbies is kind of like do some stuff like that.
Like free solo stuff?
Not like crazy, like bouldering. I mean, I think Tahoe has like a lot of bouldering stuff where you can go out there. I would like to climb some of their higher stuff with the. I see this is how I'm like new I am to it. I don't even know like the stuff you rappel with, like what you wear so you don't like if you fall they catch you, right? But you have to have. They don't have people there to do that for you. You have to have someone with you to help you climb. I thought they'd have workers there to help you so when you climb and fall they catch you, but it's like you have to go with a partner to be able to do that with Lachey. I don't know what it's called, but that'd be fun. I just never have done it.
Well, Jessica is all about rock climbing. I'm sure she would be all about going with you. If you ever do any of like those bouldering things, I'm sure she'd
want to be such cool like scenery out there too. We just need to find it.
Dude, have you seen Monkey Rock at Tahoe?
My old weightlifting coach went up there.
Yeah?
He dressed in a banana suit.
That's hilarious.
It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it does look cool. I had no clue until that article went like viral here in Reno at least. I haven't seen it yet. It was like a month ago, back before
all this craziness.
Hit the fan. It's crazy how much that. I mean, I'm guessing that someone carved in some spots of that, but like,
it does look like a monkey, but it is it's a good hike.
It looks like a nice view.
It overlooks everything. So,
and then I've never even been to Emerald Bay.
Are you serious?
Yes. I've been to like some of the main places in Tahoe, but not Emerald Bay. Like I've driven past it 100 times, but I've never done like the hike with the little overlook there, and I'm serious. I've never done a hike in Tahoe. I don't think. So
actually, I think I ran. So the race that just got canceled for us it starts in Reno, goes up to Tahoe, down to Carson City, and back in Reno. It's over like 2 days. I ran the Emerald Bay section of it last year. Nice. But it was at like 11 o'clock at night, so I couldn't like see anything. But I was kind of nervous because it's like a 2-lane highway, very small, in the forest. So they're like,
people drive so fast.
And at the same time, it's like, I don't know if something's gonna pop out of these, but I'm like, a lot of the time you're by yourself. You're running by yourself, and then 11 o'clock at night in a forest. I'm like, if some bear pops out, this is gonna be real scary.
I'm not sure if I've told you this before, because my brother's a route like delivery driver. Like he delivers like towels and uniforms for people's companies. But so like, I'm not sure if his route was still like this, but he used to drive through Tahoe, and he said he was like inches from hitting this bear because he's driving on the windy highway, and then this bear comes hurtling over the, you know, like the sidewalls, and just and he's just like braced for impact and didn't hit this bear amazingly.
That's crazy.
That would have been both very sad and very scary, because like you know, I don't know what would happen to the car, and like when you slam on the brakes, spin out in a big truck, like. But yeah, that's just.
It reminds me of Yosemite. They have like those big yellow slow down bear signs, or speed kills bears or something. Because in Yosemite there's sections where you're only supposed to go like 25 or something, and it's kind of like some of those windy ones. And then they post like how many bears have been killed because people are like just hauling ass and like smash into a bear, you know. And I'm like, oh, that is so sad.
Those signs don't do much.
No,
because. There was a sign that said how many people drowned at Queen's Bath, and I still looked at it like 27.
You're one of those guys.
I was an idiot.
You'll rethink that now, though.
Yeah, no, now when I see those signs, I mean, I kind of needed that swift slap to the face from life to be like, you don't mess with nature. So.
Yeah, no, it's gnarly, dude. It's scary. And that's like one of the things here is like when we have those fires are scary, man. Like when they start spreading, like my parents live on the other side of us, and they have like mountains behind them, and it was on fire, and you're watching the helicopters like drop, and they get the line, and then when, you know, thankfully they're awesome, and they get it all blocked away from the houses and kind of let it burn the other way, but you're very thankful for the firefighters, because you're watching, you're like, obviously I can't move my house, I can get out, but everything in here, and it's like, there's nothing you can do. This thing is just raging towards you. It's like really
something
crazy.
that you've worked years to start to pay off.
Yeah, and then Mother Nature is just like, nope.
Got other plans. Sorry for that lightning storm behind the house.
Right. But luckily the firefighters here, they kill it. I mean, anywhere I'm sure the firefighters are killing it. And there's only so much they can do, but like I said, you get real thankful real quick when you see it in person.
I learned this from the last fire that was over by Pyramid not too long ago. You remember that? It was a few months ago.
I remember flying in on a plane, and I was like, oh man, there's a fire. I'm like, there's a lake. And I noticed the shape of it, and obviously going to fish, and I was like, that's Pyramid. I was like, holy cow.
I learned from Tanner at the gym, he was saying that when they drop the fire retardant, like that only slows it down. Like it's not putting it out. And I didn't know that, because you know, you just see helicopters and whatnot dropping stuff on there, you thinking it's putting it out. It's just slowing it down.
Right.
That's scary.
I think because it's so high, and what it is, it's like kind of masking it and just like kind of killing it.
Yeah, probably trying to suffocate it a little bit.
I think I don't think it'd be nice if you could just shoot stuff out and it just like stops everything.
I think from like all the news stories, I always just thought they're either dropping water, which I think they sometimes do, and then like I just thought whatever that red stuff was, the retardant, like I thought that was actually putting it out.
I think if it's small enough, it probably can. Like if it's still just like shrub stuff that's just sizzling, you know, and everything, I'm sure it'll put that stuff out. But when it's a raging fire, it's really just I think to mostly slow it down. I don't know obviously a lot about it. I'm not a firefighter, but it seems so, like the things that I've watched is it slows it down so those guys can get in there and kind of cut that line or whatever, and kind of help like divert it, or like at least control to where it's going to slow it down enough to finally just get it out. Yeah, it's gnarly though.
Speaking of wildfires, my friend Tyler, you were there Friendsgiving with him, the Navy one. He is trying to get into Wildlands fire right now, but because of all the coronavirus stuff, it's been like pushed back. Because like, I mean, he's been trying to go through like, you know, like the EMS stuff, and so I'm not 100% sure if he's going to be able to even do Wildlands this year because things are getting delayed. But it's just, you know, that's kind of scary. Is like when people like our paramedics and our firefighters, they're getting delayed to be on the job, and then here comes next fire season, California's going to go up in flames, and then you know, probably down,
which is crazy because right now they're allowing people to like graduate early from like nursing school and medical school and all those things to like help them get to the hospital, which I agree with, but you would think you'd be doing the same for other stuff like that. It's kind of
and then it just kind of like, and then like the current school, the people in school right now, you know, they're taking a hit to their education because they have to learn online. Like my wife's a teacher. Like I hear about how difficult this is, and like today she was talking about how the website they're going through is having technical difficulties. Or students are calling her saying like, that assignment that I turned in, like it's just nowhere to be found right now. And so there's probably so many people on there, the website's having problems. So like, it's just crazy how this can take an effect on everyone, but like now these kids suffer with education, and like there's no standardized testing, which we've always been told is so important, and now I guess it's not happening, you know? So it's just,
it almost feels like a movie right now. Like it's kind of,
I saw this tweet today. It was like from a movie theater. And
I swear I was going to try to avoid Corona today because, but
dude, it's impossible.
It's impossible with like the world right now. So.
I mean, how often does this happen? Even swine flu wasn't this popular.
Yeah, it is crazy.
It was a tweet. It was a picture of this movie theater, and it's like, we're closed until life seems less like a movie or something like that. I was like, man,
it's so true though. Like, when is this ever? When have, like, you know, like you see the movies and they're like talking about quarantining and all this weird stuff, and
this is the closest
people going crazy.
Ever felt.
It's like, this is weird. To where, it's so.
I've never felt like the world was gonna end so much more than I do now. Like, and I don't think it's gonna end. But I think like this has been the closest we've been.
Right, which makes me nervous because of how crazy people get in times right now when it's like. All you have to, like we were talking about the last episode, like when everyone was like, oh, like all you have to do is stay home, like your grandparents or great grandparents or whatever had to go to war. So shut up. It's like, totally agree. Like it's not that hard to just stay at home, especially all like what we can do is like you can still go hike. You can still go fish. You can still ride your bike around the streets. Like,
and honestly, we're already so spoiled with the internet. Like, you can still see your friends and family through the phone. Like,
which is, I used to be like,
pretty cool.
Dude, I got this notification. You know how Apple does your screen time percentage? It was like last week. It was like, your screen time went up like 39% to 3.5 hours. I'm like, oh no, but I'm like, what else are we gonna do? So
occasionally I get slapped with that too.
I know, right? So well, sick. I did just pour a new drink, but that's about it. So thank you guys for joining. Hopefully this was entertaining for you guys. I appreciate all you guys watching. Vic, thanks for doing this with me.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one.